Hi there, my name is Kenneth and I'm the Lone Dice Guy. Welcome back to my solo Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure as I am traveling through my world as the monk of the Order of the Dragon, Ming Zao. Let's dive in. Okay, so when we last left off, Ming and Jem had just barely made it out of a fight with the fire elemental and Jem's younger sister. Now, that they survive, but there's so many layers of what I kind of realized from that fight. So first layer is that Jem's sister basically let them go, and we need to figure out, maybe that's, I've marked that kind of as a note for us, and even as a thread, maybe even also, but we'll worry about that later. The next thing we need to worry about is that now Jem is gonna have more of a goal to find her sister, so we're gonna update her goals and her what she's striving to do. We also rolled that Jem's younger sister I think the words that we had was disrupt any energy and pursue a goal, pursue a path. So I kind of put two and two together and thought, okay, well, she's trying maybe to stop something from happening, disturb an even greater evil with the use of necromancy. Maybe she wants to use her talent for necromancy for good, not for evil. But of course, Jem's family is a family of undead hunters, so they're not too happy about that, and that's the tension that we get there. Now, after they wake up, Ming goes and stabilizes Jem. They wake up. I said they took a rest there. I think that they were going to be so exhausted from the fight, just so completely devastated from the fight, that it doesn't even occur to them to leave. And so they're literally going to be spending time there nursing their wounds and all this other stuff, basically right there in the middle of the burial mound, where they know it's at least somewhat safe. They've taken out the lodestone. No more undead are coming from them. It's relatively sheltered from the elements. It's a good place to be. So after a full night's rest and just getting their wounds, they get up, go outside the tunnel where Jem's little sister escaped to, and that's where we're gonna pick up. But before we do that, it kind of hit me that I think at this point we need to tease out some of the details around Ming's order a bit more, because it's going to come up in this episode, I think. And so, yes, we need to tease that out. So every good monk order, of course, has a set of tenets that they follow, a set of rules, if you will, or maybe a code that they follow. I'm thinking like the Jedi Code from Star Wars. So we need to figure out what that is. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to roll a d8, and however many, that's how many lines of the code that they're going to follow. Yeah, let's do that. So what do we got? 4. All right. So we have 4 they have 4 kind of codes or tenets that they fall under. So then let's go to our fate, kind of our fate system, or mythic system, to help us figure out what these 4 tenets are about. So I'll roll from our action and subject tables to figure out what this means, what this could be. So first tenet is going to be 54, which is kill, and then 13, kill war. Let's go ahead. We'll think about these in a moment. Let's go on to the next one. So the second tenet, 72, is going to be arrive, and 82, dispute. All right, third one, 0. So we don't have a 0, so that is going. Oh, that's right. That's a 100. So we'll make that a 100. So 100, change. Yeah, reading D10s is always weird. Some people count the 2 zeros as 0, but because there's no 0 on our list, we'll count it as 100. So, all right. And then change is the first one. Second one, 39 is going to be a news. Change news. This is strange. All right. And then our last tenet, 46, is going to be develop. And last one, 38, a path. So we've got the first tenet is kill and war. Second is arrive, dispute. 3 is change news. 4 is develop a path. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to our event focus table to help us understand these things a bit more. I think we need more information. So let's do it again. First one again. 19. Waste. 43. Competition. Second one, 49. Harm. 20, because we do the percentile plus the regular D10. So 20 is going to be joy. Number 3, 42, haggle. 37, business, just business. And then fourth one, 95 is going to be punish. And 44, prison. Alright, I think I've got a better grasp of what this is, but before I do, I want to do one more thing. So I'm going to roll a d6. If it's evens, it'll be more positive, and if it's odd, it'll be more negative. And it'll make sense in a moment. So for number 1, odd, so it's going to be negative. Number 2, it's going to be even, so more positive. 3, odd, so it's going to be more negative. And 4, 5, it's also going to be negative. Alright, so here's what I think. Our first one, kill war, waste competition. It's a negative, meaning it's a prohibition on something. So kill, war, waste, and competition. I think that Ming's order is going to prohibit its members from formally joining an army. Kill, war, and waste competition. I think they believe it's a waste of their skills. It's a waste of their time for members of the Order of the Dragon to not to partake in war, but to formally join an army as an enlisted soldier. Meaning that you're more than willing, you're more than capable to join as a mercenary, or to even offer your services in helping soldiers deal with a threat, but you cannot formally enlist. I think that's really cool. So you can't formally enlist in a formal or in an actual long-standing army or militia. So that's what I meant by negative. I mean, it's a prohibition, right? So the next one is a positive. So that means it's not going to be a prohibition. It's something that you should actively do. So 2, arrive, dispute, harm, and joy. Oh, this is easy. This is super easy. Members of the Order of the Dragon should actively try to settle disputes between people, right? They attempt to go and arrive at disputes, go into disputes, and to stop the harm of joy, right? The purpose is to actively seek to make sure that people's joy isn't harmed. So they're kind of like peacekeepers. I think they should definitely strive to be peacekeepers. Oh no, this sounds like the Jedi. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I think they should actively try to be peacekeepers, which kind of goes with the first tenet as well. Like, don't purposely actively join a war or an army, and then actively seek peace. So I think that's kind of a good first. Don't purposely seek war and actively seek peace. I like that so far. All right, number 3, change news, haggle, and business, and this is a negative, so something they shouldn't do. Change news and haggle business. this is simple. The members of the order are forbidden for running for any kind of political public office. Period. Whether from being the mayor of a city to even the constable or the sheriff of a small hamlet, even like a judge or like a maybe like a county commissioner. No, nothing from the lowest of the low to the heights of power. They're completely forbidden from ever running for public office. And it says change news and haggle business. And I think that they're forbidden from even owning a business. For running and owning a business. That doesn't mean they can't get a job, right? They go out into the world and they need to provide for themselves, of course, but they can't own a business. They can work for someone else, but they cannot be they cannot be the proprietor, unless they renounce their vow, which we'll even know if they can renounce their vow. We'll get to that in a moment. So definitely. So first one, actively avoid war, no joining an army. Second, actively being a peacekeeper and trying to end conflict. 2, cannot run for public office of any kind and cannot own a business of any kind. And then 4, finally, it's another negative one, so it's another prohibition. Develop a path, punish prison. I got it. All right. Whenever members of the Order of the Dragon encounter their enemies, they are to fight ferociously, right? They are not to show weakness. They're not to give in. They're not to surrender if they can. But once the battle's over, so is the animosity. Develop a path towards what? Towards reconciliation, towards peace. I think that also means extending mercy, probably more than not. But punish prison. I think that means that once someone has crossed the line, once someone has kind of rebuffed their extension of mercy, that person always becomes an enemy. Like they don't capture their enemies. I think that punish prison means that there is no imprisonment, there is no capturing, there is no turning over to the authorities. If a member of the Order of the Dragon sees someone do something evil or has evidence that they do something evil, they're well within their rights to end the evil. But I think develop a path. They should extend mercy first. They can only resort to that final punishment, which of course I think you're getting at what I'm trying to say here. They can only resort to that after someone has rebuffed the act of mercy, the call of mercy. So this is interesting. All right, so we've got an Order of the Dragon where war is downplayed or maybe not viewed well. War is not something that is celebrated. It's not necessarily demonized, but it's definitely not celebrated. Peacekeeping between peoples and between different groups is definitely high on the priority list. No joint, public office and business affairs are completely off the table for members of the Order of the Dragon, and of course, mercy is extended to all enemies once the fighting is over. But if that mercy is rejected, then there's nothing but wrath remaining. So I like this. This kind of plays the part of a dragon. I can see a dragon thinking of this, right? A dragon who's so above all the petty, political struggles and wars and offices of the humanoid races that are so above all that, right? And so they want the members of the order that they're founding to be just like them. They want them to be above all of the petty squabbles that the lower life forms have, but also to be fair and to be just and to offer mercy. But then when that mercy is rebutted, of course, there's nothing left to talk about. So, okay, I really like that. That's really cool. I think we have 4 tenets of the Order of the Dragon. So I'll probably work with these and make them more formal later. Now, but here's the question. Here's the real question, and I'm going to ask the fate chart this. Can someone renounce the vow they take when they enter the Order of the Dragon? Can they just decide, this isn't for me? I don't know. I think I'm going to do 50-50. By the way, Chaos, we'll just put it Chaos rank as 5. It's not really part of the scene. But still, I have no idea. I think that this is something that would be... I think it's just something that would be yes, but I don't know, 50-50. 28, which is a yes. So someone can renounce the Order of the Dragon. So it isn't like a once you're in for life, buddy. They can leave if they just don't like it. Okay, that's fair. So that's why these tenets are so broad and sweeping, is because if people don't like it, they're more than willing to leave. So yeah, cool. All right, so we've got, you can leave the Order of the Dragon. We have tenets for it. I think the only thing we need left. No, that's it. That should be enough for now. So, all right. So we've got our order. We've got our dragon. It's time. So Ming and Jem kind of are gathering their things. They're not at 100%, even though their health points are back at full. They're not 100%, but they need to get out of here. So as they're walking down the tunnel, it's kind of silent. It's kind of awkward between them a little bit. I think that for the most part, the night went where one of them was either sleeping or both were sleeping. They just didn't really talk. There was nothing really to talk about. But there's tons to talk about. And I think both of them sense that there is tons to talk about. And so finally they go down this tunnel. All the while, there's dry drops of blood that came from from Jem's little sister, which we should think of a name soon. And so they come out to kind of maybe a rock or some kind of outcropping where it's been moved away or blasted away. And they're out. They recognize kind of the path that was leading up to the cemetery. So they had no idea this rock was hiding a secret passageway, of course. And so they come out back on the path. They look to the right, up the path. They can see the kind of the entrance to the cemetery there. Obviously, the aura has long since faded, and it actually feels kind of peaceful here. Like they can sense that finally the spirits of the disquieted dead are put to rest. And so they begin walking down the path, and finally Ming gets up the courage to ask, Jem, are you going to be okay? I mean, that must have been difficult to... Don't do this to me. She interrupts him. I don't need your pity, nor do I need your sympathy. I understand. And to be honest, I couldn't offer sympathy if I wanted to. I don't have any siblings. I don't even know who my parents are, so I have no idea what you're going through. You're right, you do not. So stop bringing it up. So I'm wondering, can Ming get to her? Can Ming kind of break through? I'm going to make this a persuasion roll. I think that this is something he's relatively good at. So, persuasion. Actually, he's not. Never mind. But still, persuasion roll. 14 plus 2 is 16. I think that's pretty good. He's going to think for a second, and he's just going to appeal to her. He's just, I'm not sure what he would say, right? But I'm sure he would say something along the lines of, hey, it's okay. You can talk to me. Like, there's no reason to hide this from me. I don't know. I'm here for you, I don't know what he would say. I don't know how he would say it, but still. So she listens, and as she stops, middle of the path, turns around. Monk Ming Zao. My family's business truly is none of your concern. I know you're trying to be nice, and I do appreciate it. But if I'm completely honest, I don't want to share that burden with you. It's a heavy burden. I don't know what to do with my sister. I know I'll need to find her, but I'm not sure what to do once I do. So you have to understand, that's something I don't wish to think about right now. I understand. I do. I'm sorry for pressing the issue. It's okay. What will you do now, Monk Ming? I wasn't much help to you. they continue walking. They start walking down the path. Before Jem was leading, now they're walking side by side. I wasn't much help to you at all. Really, I wasn't. To be perfectly honest. If I had not been there, nothing would have been changed. The same outcome would have been the same. My weakness has never been more apparent than it is right now. Not so. Yeah. Yes, so. Were you not there for the fight? Yes, I was. You were the one that distracted my sister long enough for me to understand the creature we were fighting. You were the one that revived me after my sister's devastating magical attack. You were the one that saved my life, Ming Zao. I won't forget that. Ming, it's hitting him. Like he doesn't think that he deserves that kind of praise. In fact, I think he knows he doesn't deserve that kind of praise. You really are flattering me. It's too kind. I don't deserve any of that. You are right. You are quite weak. Of that, there is no doubt. Yes. Yes. But you can get stronger. Of course, that's what I'm out here doing. That's what I'm training for. No, Ming Zao. You can get stronger. There is a way. What way is that? You need a weapon. One that fits in with who you are and your own discipline and your own training. You know, my order has a tradition. It's called the rite of selection. And it allows a full brother to bind himself to a weapon, normally a blade of some kind. And they become so intertwined and so close that nothing can separate them. And that he knows his weapon inside and out, and he's able to use it with all of his discipline and training. I could pursue that path. I think you should. No, I can't go back. If I go, me and my master are not exactly on the best of terms right now. To go back to him with my tail between my legs would be mortifying. Of course. You must do what you think is right. What about you? Where will you go? I do not know. All right, so where will they go? I think. Does Ming think that? And by the way, I made up the rite of selection pretty much just right there. We'll worry about it later. But does Ming think that his master will accept him back? I mean, I don't know. Let's roll. So I think it's unlikely. Really, I do. I think it's unlikely that his master will take him back or at least help him. That's a 49, which is a no, yeah. So Ming doesn't think that his master will take him back. I think he's pretty sure, like, no, that's not going to happen. He can't exactly just go back to his master and be like, hey, I need help. What about Jem? Is Jem going to chase after her sister? I don't know. Let's find out. I think that's somewhat likely. She's going to want to chase after her sister. 35. That's a yes. So Jem is dead set on going after her sister. Ming's got to find some kind of weapon. It looks like there might be a parting of the ways. I don't want that. Oh gosh, I don't want that. I need her. And I think Ming is kind of starting to slowly, the gears are turning, is like, oh no, our paths are going in different directions. Well, whenever Jem's little sister left the fight, she was wounded. So I wonder if, are they still following blood? I think it's very likely. 15, yes. And that's an extreme yes. So this whole time that they've been talking, they've been following a trail of blood. In fact, I think that the blood seems to be almost like the blood's getting thicker. Like maybe the wound, she's just unable to heal it. As Jem's little sister continued to travel, it got worse and worse and worse. It's not a good sign. But still, the trail is still very, very hot, and both of them can see it clear as day. Ming, especially with his I gave him half proficiency with survival because of the training he's undergoing with Jem, so it's really cool. All right. So both of them are able to follow the trail almost without even really thinking about it. That's why they're having this conversation now. So so we're gonna start our scene here. We have to roll chaos. I think the scene setup is quite simple. Ming and Jem are dealing with the aftermath of the battle, and they've got to decide, what are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go? So this is kind of a role play scene of them trying to figure out what's gonna happen next. So roll against their chaos rank of 5, 7. So nothing changes. So they're basically just trying to decide what to do next. While they're walking, I think Ming is going to want to try and convince Jem to come with him again, as I think he agrees with her. Yes, he needs a weapon. He needs a monk weapon that fits him, and he can use. But I also know he wants to help her chase down her little sister. So we know the trail is still hot. They're still following her. I think he's going to stick with her first. I think he's going to stick with Jem for a time. I think he's going to put kind of his desires on hold. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to roll a d20. The higher the number, the more likely Ming is going to be to go off on his own. I think that as much as he wants to help Jem, I think he understands that he's got to continue his training. I'm going to add his wisdom bonus to this. 18. So 14 plus 4 is 18. Yeah, Ming is going to go on his own. I think he understands that, yes, he needs a weapon. Yes, she's doing her own thing. But he doesn't want to end this quite yet. As they're walking, they'll say the trail, they eventually find their way back to kind of the main path through the mountain that they're in. The main kind of thoroughfare, the main road that goes through the mountains. They've been traveling for a couple hours now. It's about midday. They've been nibbling on rations and stuff. Like, they're fine, but nothing's been happening. Nothing's attacked them. Like, I think most of the danger in this area of the mountains has passed since the aura has faded, and most of the animals have kind of sense, like, okay, balance has been restored. They're looking at the path. The trail goes one way, and the other way goes back to kind of civilization. And Ming really wants to go with Jem. I really don't want this to be the parting of our ways. I really don't. You've been incredibly useful, and you've taught me so much in the past month. I really remember, because it's been a month since they started traveling together. I'm not sure I'm capable of doing this on my own. Won't you come with me? Please? Monk Ming, my little sister, she went this way. It's very clear to me now. I must chase her. I must find her. I must bring her back to my family. I understand. I do. I tell you what. Let's make an agreement. There is a village just west of here. I believe you know it. Yes, it's the village that someone very special to me lived in. Yes. I will return to that village in 3 months' time. Then I will help you, and I may even request your help. In 3 months, I will come back to that village, looking for you, Monk Ming. I'll be there. Good. Show me the results of your personal private training in the wilds. I look forward to it. Thank you. Jem, one last thing. Yes? Thank you. You've said thank you many times before now, Ming. Yes, but this is different. Thank you. I mean it. I now feel confident enough to at least attempt to survive. That's thanks to you. Good luck, Ming Zao. And to you too, Jem Lovec. May the Maker watch over you, and your paths of destiny be safe. Aye, and you as well, Monk. So at that point, they're going to part ways. I think that both have their own little adventures to go off on. Jem is going to be looking for her little sister, and that's going to involve all kinds of other stuff. And Ming is, well, I think he's going to look for a weapon. I think that's going to be kind of number one on his list, look for a weapon. We're going to end the scene there. There's lots to do. There's lots to do in the coming days, in the coming weeks and months. And so I think Ming is, I think he's ready. I think he can handle it, but it's going to be contingent upon a lot of stuff. So here's the real question that I have for the fate chart. Does his master, because he doesn't want to go, remember we already rolled, he doesn't want to go back to his master. That is the last thing he wants to do. He's pretty sure that that's not going to be a good idea anyway. But still, does his master know of a weapon that he could have? Is the right of selection something that Ming talked about a little while ago? Is that something that would be worth pursuing? I think it's very likely. 13, that's an extreme yes. That's a definite yes. So that means that not only is the right of selection the right thing to do, his master is going to know exactly what Ming should do going forward. I think Ming knows this, doesn't want to do it, doesn't want to go home, back to his order, but there's nothing left to do. He needs a weapon. He needs to replace the staff he lost in the fight with the elemental, and just he needs to continue his training, and that's kind of the next step in his training. So Ming is going home, back to the order, not to stay, but going back to the order nonetheless. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this session of The Lone Dice Guy. Ming's back on his way home. Him and Jem have parted ways. Jem is going after her little sister, and Ming's going home to look for the next step in his training. So next time, it's Homeward Bound. It's a return home to the Order of the Dragon, the monastery in the mountains. And so I'm looking forward to it. I've been absent a little while. I'm looking forward to get back into the swing of playing. And yeah, I think that's it. We'll find out more about what happens and what the right of selection and all that is next time. We've got a lot of cool stuff on the order of the Dragon and their tenets in this session. Next time, we're going home. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that you'll join me in the next one. Like, subscribe, all the dumb YouTube stuff. Appreciate you coming along with me on this journey. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think the Order of the Dragon sounds kind of lame? What would you add to it? What are your ideas? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I'm Kenneth the Lone Dice Guy. God bless.